I've got quite a collection of books. I need to start doing mass making using a lot of these books. I've got them categorized. That's why some stacks are higher and shorter than others. Hi, Susan from Susan's Art and Junk Journaling. Previous video, I made these two signatures out of one garden book, and the pages are 10 inches tall and about 6 3/4 inches wide. Now I'm going to work on making the cover for it. And I've got this nice thick box here. And I figure what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it about a 1/2 inch wider. Maybe a little bit more in case I want to embellish the edges of these two signatures. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut out. I'm probably going to reinforce this cover because since this is going to be such a big journal, I want this to be very thick and sturdy. So I'm going to go through, find all my pieces of cardboard and cut it out. I've got the front, the spine, and the back. Both have 2 layers of cardboard. I've got them taped to the surface so that they don't move. Now I'm going to use some tape and tape along here and here to reinforce it. I'll get it all taped together and I'll show you. There we go. Got it all taped together. And I'll have 2 signatures in here. And that's going to be more than enough room for the 2 signatures. And then plus I like how there's extra room on the side here to embellish the side and also for things to hang over the top as well if I wanted. Now I gotta find what I'm going to cover this with. I found another gorgeous book I've got, and it's going to be, the pages are going to be more than big enough to cover the fronts and the backs. Let me show you pages in here. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I'll use that for the cover. There's some absolutely beautiful images in here that I can use to cover the inside and the outside. So I'm going to go through this book. Let's see what... I don't see the... Doesn't say what year it was made. Oh well, I'll go through and find some pictures. I picked out the pages, so I think this is going to be the cover. This will be the back. This will be inside front. This will be inside back. And then I'm going to take this and cut it in half. And then it will cover the spine on the back and on the inside. I've got the back covered, and I creased it a little bit to kind of give it a little bit more give. That's the outside. And then here's the inside. And then it's the same page. I just cut it down a little bit. And the glue I'm using is Beacon. So Beacon makes the 3-in-1 glue, the real stinky stuff. And this is the all-purpose tacky glue. So I thought I'd give it a try and see how well it works. So now I'm going to glue this onto the back. It's real thick. You got to really squeeze. There we go. I'm going to let that set up and then I'll start working on the other covers. There we go. Got it all covered. So that's the front. I changed my mind on the flowers. I did the other side and with the white flower. There. So now I need to mark where I'm going to put the signatures. So this measures 2 inches. So I think I will go in maybe a 1/2 inch each side. I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll mark the holes and I'll show you how I sew the signatures together. I've got a scrap of the book page left and I cut it to the height of my signature. Then I folded it long ways, and then I folded it in half, and then this leg down and this leg down. And where those lines intersected, I put a dot. Folded here, put a dot. Folded here, put a dot. And the width that I made this is the width of the spine. So this is 5 millimeters or 2.5 inches, and I divided it by 3, and that's how I decided where I'm going to put the holes for my signature. I will do the holes in the spine first, and I've shown this in a couple other videos. I've got this automatic center punch that I got from Menards. It's number 2437367. It's a spring-loaded center punch, and it says you can mark holes on metal, wood, plastic for drilling, screwing, and riveting. So it works real good for making holes for signatures. So I'm going to center, so this distance and this distance are going to be the same. And I'm going to try and center that on the spine. Oops, stay still. Don't move. And then you just take and you just push it right where these holes are. I think it shifted on me. Okay, so that makes the holes. Let me make sure it went through. It did, but I'm going to go through and push it this way. I just need to push it through. I don't need to pop it again. Okay, so that's the holes for my 2 signatures. Now, I'm going to take this big, beautiful book and find about the center. Ooh, let's find a page that doesn't have beautiful pictures on it. Okay, so now I'm going to find the center of my signature and take some bulldog clips. I don't think it's going to move. I think that's good. Okay, so now I want to push this right down into this crease. And then I'm going to take, it doesn't matter whether I use these 3 holes or these 3 holes. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. So I'm going to push that all the way in and push it. And then just take the hole punch again. Okay, so that signature is okay. That one's good. Now I'll do the same thing on this signature. So the length of twine that I use, I'm going to use 3 times the height. So 1, 2, 3 times the height. And then I want the same length for the other signature as well. Now I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to start with the back signature first, and the back signature is going to be this signature, and I will use a nice pointy sewing needle. I'm going to use this curved one here. It's got a nice little point on the end if I need it to be pointy to poke through a hole. There we go. And then I'll be doing a figure 8, and I start in the center and through this hole, and then these back, the farthest right holes, I'm going to line up that hole there, go through the back of the spine, and I don't want this to pull all the way through, so I think I'll just take a little clothespin and pin that there. And now that this has come through this one, now I'll go through the top one. And then through the top hole. And there we go. Now I'll pull that up snug. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take the twine all the way down to the bottom hole, out through the bottom hole, into this bottom hole, into the cover. There we go. Pull that through, and then I'm going to go back through this hole. And then back through the center hole again, trying not to split the threads. I'm going to try and go around it and not pierce the threads. There we go. I'm making it look harder than it is. It's not really that hard to do this, but it's kind of awkward. Oh, looks like I may have pierced a thread. There we go. Okay. And now you take and tighten it. Make sure that the spine looks good and the spine looks good. And that looks good. So you've got one piece of the thread to the left of the spine and one piece to the right. And then you can either make a bow or just a double knot. I'm just going to do a double knot, and I may leave the strings long and let them dangle because I might put some beads on the bottom of here. So maybe for right now I'll just tie a bow so it doesn't get in the way. Now we don't need that anymore. So that's the back signature sewn in place. Now I do the same thing with this one. So when I'm done sewing this in, I'll show you how it turned out. There we go. Cover has all been assembled and the two signatures have been sewn in. And the overall measurement is, let's see, 7 3/8 wide, or little over 18.5 centimeters, of course, by 10 inches. 10 inches or about 27.5 centimeters. So there's the two signatures inside, and now I've got all kinds of room to go ahead and embellish the two signatures, and that's going to be the next video where I embellish. I may end up putting more decoration on the cover, but here's the signature. And what's nice is the way I did it with the rolling pages. All of the words are horizontal. So the next time you see this, you'll see me filling it with all of the ephemera that I've been making. This has got a fold out. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that in, but I wanted to show you again. So all of this ephemera I've been making for several months, and it's not necessarily the same theme as the two signatures, but I need to use up all of this so I can start making other items. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this. I thought I'd show the end of this video of making the cover after I've decorated it. So on the background, I've got music paper, and then I had some of this left that I tore and put in front of the music paper so that this decoration would show up. This in the background I got from a church sale. It's a tatted snowflake that I got for $1 from the church sale. And this leaf and these pearls, I had gotten a veil from a thrift store, and I took the veil apart, and it had a headband on it, so I took the whole headband apart. So I glued the pearl and the white leaf, pearls and the white leaf on top of the tatted snowflake. And then this was at the top of the tatted snowflake, so I cut it off. This background here is crinkle sheer that I cut up. And then I had more of this left, and I got, my husband got these from, I don't remember where he got them from, but he found these for me, so I glued them on. And then, of course, this is the Dollar Tree You could buy this at the Dollar Tree. It's just this sparkling mesh, and I glued some on top and glued some on bottom. And then I also put on, this is a boho bead dangle that I made several videos ago. So I've got that hanging on the spine. And I wanted to show you, I'm going to add these beads on the bottom of the signature dangles. So what I've got is this wire here. I pulled this wire out of this ribbon. It was wired ribbon and I didn't want the wire on it. So I just took some needle nose pliers and pulled this wire out, and I took a length and I've got it folded here, and I'm going to make this as my needle for stringing on these beads. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make sure that that gold belongs to the correct. Let's see. So there we go. So I'm just going to take and spin this and put it through the eye of my makeshift needle here. There we go. So there's my makeshift needle again. So now I'm going to just feed that silver bead through, and then this white silver bead through. This white bead, not white silver bead, this white bead through. And then I will make a knot right here. That comes off really simple. Make myself a nice big knot. Roll it around a couple of times. And one more time. So when I pull it, there we go. It'll be a nice big knot right there for the beads to set on. So there's one dangle, and then I'll go through and do the other 4 dangles. But I thought it would be a good idea to show you how I did my cover before I do the next video, which is embellishing the signatures. Thank you for watching. I just put my last rock in. All the way around. My gosh, rocks are heavy. All the way around.